The night everything fell apart didn't feel like a disaster. It felt quiet. I remember standing by the window, watching the city lights blur into soft shapes, feeling this strange mix of calm and heaviness inside my chest. My phone was on the table behind me, the screen still glowing with the message I never should have seen, the message that revealed everything. He always told me I worried too much. "That's your problem," he'd laugh. "You create drama that isn't even there." But the drama wasn't in my head. It was in his hands, his choices, his lies. And now proof was staring right at me. A voice note from someone who wasn't supposed to exist, someone he had been sneaking around with, someone he thought I'd never know about. The voice said, "Tell her you're busy again tomorrow. She won't suspect anything." My heart didn't break. It hardened. Because when betrayal is loud, you cry. But when it's silent, when it hides behind laughter, behind fake concern, behind sweet words, that's the kind that rewires your soul. I turned off the screen and whispered to myself, "All right, so this is who you are." But here's where things get interesting. I wasn't angry, not in the usual way. I wasn't pacing. I wasn't screaming. I wasn't thinking about revenge. I was thinking about the secret, my secret, the one he didn't know I had, the one that would end every game he thought he was winning. He underestimated me. That was his first mistake. His second mistake, believing he knew everything about me. He had no idea that I had planned for this day long before it arrived. And what I revealed next, it didn't just expose him, it ended his arrogance permanently. This is the story of how his games fell apart, not because I fought him, but because I finally stopped playing. Before everything went wrong, everyone thought we were the perfect couple. He had the charm, the confidence, the easy laugh people adored. And me? I had the patience, the loyalty, the softness people praised. Together we looked balanced, stable, ideal. People would tell me, "You're lucky to have him. He cares so much about you. He's such a good guy." And I would smile, trying to believe it. But deep down, something always felt off. He was too smooth, too practiced, too perfect in public, and too distant in private. I used to convince myself it was stress, work, pressure, anything logical. He played his role well, and I played mine even better. The understanding partner who never asked too many questions. But looking back, our relationship wasn't real. It was a performance. He performed affection. I performed acceptance. And together, we performed a relationship we never truly had. The first year was fine. Not magical, not special, just fine. But I ignored that emptiness because I wanted to believe I had chosen right. The second year was worse. Excuses, canceled plans, forgotten promises, and the more distant he grew, the more guilty I felt. Like I wasn't enough. Like I wasn't trying hard enough. Like I was somehow the problem. He made me feel that way by design, because a person who doubts themselves is a person who won't question you. He underestimated one thing, though. Quiet people aren't weak. Quiet people observe. And I observed everything. Every lie, every slip, every sudden change in pattern. But I didn't speak. Not yet. Because I was waiting. Not for revenge, not for proof, but for the moment when he showed me who he truly was. That moment came sooner than I expected. It was a normal evening, or at least it was supposed to be. He had gone out to meet a friend, the same friend he mentioned every time he wanted to disappear for hours. Normally I didn't question him, but something in my gut told me tonight wasn't like the others. He returned around midnight, humming a song, smiling, a little too much. His eyes had that gleam people get when they think they're clever. "Why are you awake?" He laughed, dropping his keys on the table. I shrugged. Couldn't sleep. He walked past me, pretending everything was normal. But something was off. His shirt smelled like a perfume I didn't own. His hair was too perfectly messy, the kind that doesn't come from wind but from someone's hands. He didn't notice I noticed. He thought I was the same trusting fool he had always known. I asked softly, "How was your friend?" He froze for half a second, a small pause but loud enough to confirm everything. Then he smiled again and said, "Good. We just talked about work stuff." He wasn't convincing anymore, and as he walked to the bathroom, his phone buzzed on the counter. A voice note appeared. I didn't touch the phone. I didn't need to. His screen lit up with the name of the person whose voice had already exposed him earlier that day, and that was it. The mask cracked. The truth wasn't a theory anymore. It was right there, glowing on his screen like a small, cruel spotlight. But instead of breaking down, I smiled. Because his secrets weren't the only ones in the room. I had a secret too, one he never saw coming. The next morning, he acted normal, making jokes, talking about his plans, pretending everything was fine. I watched him carefully, not with sadness, but with clarity. Every word he said was a lie. Every smile was a tool. Every touch was an apology he didn't have the courage to voice. But betrayal changes you. It makes you see everything in high definition. The way he avoided eye contact, the way he held his phone tighter, the way he laughed too quickly, the way he kept testing me to see if I suspected anything. He underestimated me so badly it was almost laughable. I wasn't angry at him cheating. I was angry because he thought I wouldn't find out. He thought he was smarter. He thought I was blind. He thought manipulating me would be easy. But his biggest mistake wasn't the betrayal itself. It was thinking I would react the way he expected. Crying, shouting, begging, arguing. People like him prepare for chaos. They don't prepare for silence. And my silence terrified him, because silence means control. Silence means planning. Silence means you're done playing their game. And I was done. Completely. Before I met him, I built something of my own. Something he didn't know about. A separate investment account. A backup home in my own name. A private savings plan. A notebook of everything I observed, everything I learned, everything I refused to ignore. It wasn't paranoia. It was preparation. I had been raised with one lesson. Never depend on someone who can destroy your peace. So while he was busy playing games, I was busy securing my life. He thought he controlled everything. The money, the plans, the future. But in reality, I controlled the exit. And my exit wasn't going to be messy. It was going to be clean, quiet, final. The secret? He never knew? I was prepared to leave months before the betrayal became undeniable. I had quietly moved my belongings one by one to my other place on days he was busy. My documents, already moved. My valuables, already safe. My emotional attachment, already fading. By the time he betrayed me openly, I wasn't broken. I was ready. The day I revealed my secret wasn't dramatic. He returned home again, smiling that same rehearsed smile, acting like the world was his stage and I was just part of the audience. But this time, the script wasn't his to control. I sat calmly at the table. He noticed the emptiness in the house almost instantly. "Why does everything look different?" he asked. I pointed to the note on the table. His hands shook a little when he picked it up. He read it slowly. Then again. Then again. It said, "You didn't lose me today. You lost the version of me you thought you could play. I knew everything, and I prepared everything. The game is over." He looked around, confused. "Where are your things? Where are you going?" I smiled. "My things? They've been gone for weeks." His face dropped hard. The arrogance, the confidence, the attitude. Gone. "You planned this?" he whispered. "No," I replied. "You planned it. I just responded." He tried to argue, apologize, defend himself, words spilling everywhere. But everything he said was too late. He had underestimated me so deeply that he never imagined I could walk away before he even realized what was happening. And my secret, the life I built behind his lies, destroyed every illusion he had about being in control. He wasn't the one ending things. I was. And that truth hit him harder than anything I could have said. It's been months since that day. People ask me if I miss him, if I regret leaving, if I ever think about giving him another chance. I don't, because I didn't walk away from him. I walked away from lies, manipulation, and a version of myself that accepted less than she deserved. And now, my life is peaceful. No guessing, no walking on eggshells, no waiting for someone to change. Just calm, just clarity. The secret I revealed didn't destroy him. It destroyed his illusion of control. And sometimes, that's the deepest revenge life ever allows. He underestimated me. He thought I was dependent. He thought I was blind. But he learned the truth the hardest way possible. A woman who prepares quietly is a woman you should never play. Strength doesn't always look like shouting. Sometimes it looks like silence. Sometimes it looks like planning. Sometimes it looks like leaving without warning. The lesson? Never let someone's lies convince you to stay small. Never let someone's arrogance convince you that you're powerless. Walk away with dignity. Walk away with your plan. Walk away with your peace. Because the moment you stop playing their game is the moment they lose.